Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles. I'm back to the X-Sums files, the puzzle pack of X-Sums puzzle that we did. And this is Span by dumediat. And this puzzle is an interesting one. So a bit of history on this one before I solve it. I've actually solved this puzzle and recorded this puzzle before, but the recording I did of this puzzle was atrocious. I didn't really connect with the puzzle very well. And I spent a lot of time just floundering around trying to find anything that I could, and it was not a good solve. And part of what I'm trying to do with these packs is not just present the puzzles and bring you the puzzles, but also present a solve in a way that is coherent. And it was not that. So I've given up on trying to do a fully blind solve of this puzzle, and instead I'm coming in a second time to try and solve the puzzle in a way that will present better for people who want to understand what was going on. Because I have to say, I didn't understand what was going on while I was solving it. I was just finding random stuff, and the puzzle is better than that, I'm sure. There were test results on this one were a bit all over the place on difficulty as well. Some people said it was sort of mid-range difficulty. Some said it was hard. I really don't know where it's supposed to fit in. dumediat is an excellent creator, so I just wanted to try and re-engage and hope I could do a better a second time. Now, if you want to try this puzzle, and you should, there'll be a link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself, as well as to where you can download the entire pack. Let's go through the rules, not too hard on this one, and then let's give it another try, at least for me. So what do we have? We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have X-sums, which is a number outside the grid. It gives the sum of the first n digits in that row or column, where n is the digit in the cell closest to the given clue. So for example, if this is a 3, those 3 cells sum to 11. If this is a 4, those 4 cells sum to 11. If this is a 2, those 2 cells sum to 11. Over here, if this was a 5, then those 5 cells sum to 19. That's the way these clues work. And cages. Digits in cages may not repeat and must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. So these 5 digits sum to 17, and we couldn't do that by going 5, 5 with 1, 2, 4. Those do sum to 17, but we've repeated a digit in the cage, so that does not work. They're the rules of the puzzle. Now, it is if given, we do not know the sum of this cage, but we know that, for example, these 2 digits cannot be the same. That's the rules of the puzzle. I'm going to restart the puzzle. To restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So let's do the normal thing. What can these X-sum clues be? Now, no clue can be a 1 unless it's a 1 clue. You can do 11 in 2. You can do it in 3. You can't do it in 4. No, you can do it in 4. You can't do it in 5. Because the minimum that 5 sum is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 15. So any clue under 15 cannot be 5. And in fact, this can't be a 4, because the only way to do 11 in 4 digits is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know this by, I'll use these cells. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the minimum you can put into 4 cells. If we wanted to get that up by 1 to 11, I'd have to increase one of those digits by 1. And the only digit I can increase without causing duplication is 4 to 5. So the way of doing 11 in 4 cells is 1, 2, 3, 5. But I put a 4 in it if I put a 4 there. So 1, 2, 3, 5 with a 4 in it doesn't work. So this can't be a 4. This is a 2 or a 3. Okay, so what can a 19 be? I can't do it in 2. This is 3, 4, or 5. It can't be 6, because the minimum 6 can sum to is 1 through 6, which is 21. There's a shortcut I can do here. This clue plus this clue. Now, 19 plus 26 is 45. And that's important, because if we look at an entire row of a Sudoku, then an entire row of the Sudoku contains all the digits 1 through 9. 1 through 9, if you add them together, is 45. And these 2 clues sum to 45. So if this clue, so let's look at those 2 cells. Now, if I'll try to highlight them. If this clue picked up those cells and this clue picked up those cells would sum to 45, and that would be a 0. If this clue picked up those cells and this clue picked up the equivalent of those cells, so there was an overlap, or even those cells and let's say those cells, so there was an overlap, then this we would need to sum to 45 with one cell being counted twice, which doesn't work because we know that all the cells counted once add to 45. So these must not overlap, but must count every cell in the row. So therefore, this is this minus 9 because we must count all 9 cells in the row. So this can only be 4, 5, or 6. Okay, this one, 24. You can do 24 in 4 because 4 plus 3 digits that sum to 20. You can do it in 5. You can do it in 6. You can't do it in 7 because if I was to try to do, the 7 gets to, the 1 through 7 sums to 28, and this is lower than 28. This one, however, is 5, 6, or 7, I think. 5, yeah, this is 5, 6, or 7. Can it be 5? It can't be 8. Actually, I don't think it could be 5. Because if it was 5, those digits would need to sum to 32, and I can't make 4 digits sum to 32. The maximum they could be would be 6, 7, 8, 9, which only sums to 30. So this can't be a 5. So this is 6, 7, or 8. And it can't be 8. Because if this was an 8, those cells would sum to 37, and this would have to be 45 minus 37 and be an 8, and it can't be. So this is only 6 or 7. Okay, 17. You can't do it in 2 because the next digit would need to be a 15. You can do 3, 4, 5. You can't do 6. So these are all 3, 4, and 5. So one of these is a 3-digit sum. One of these is a 4-digit sum. One of these is a 5-digit sum. That can't be a 3-digit sum because the maximum those two can sum to is 10 because this is a 13 cage. The minimum those could be is 1 and 2, which is 3. So the maximum those could be is 10. So if this was a 3, this would be 3 plus a maximum of 10, and those would sum to 13, not 17. This can't be a 3. Okay. This can't be a 5. Yeah, what is the nature of 17 in 5? Enough that I need coffee. So 17 in 5. What happens if I don't put a 1 in a 17 in 5? Well, then it would be 2, 3, 4. Whoops, let's do it this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 20. So it's too high. So there must be a 1 in a 17 cage. Now, if I don't use a 2, I'm at 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 19. So that doesn't work either. So there must be a 2. Now, if I don't use a 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 is 4, 5, 6 is 15 plus 1, 2 is 18. That doesn't work either. So there must be a 3 in one of these cages. So there's 1, 2, and 3 in any 17 cage. They sum to 6. So then I need 2 digits that sum to 11. So the 2 digits that could sum to 11, I can't use 9, 2. I can't use 8, 3. I could use 7, 4, or 5, 6. So I'm just going to make a note. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. They're the only ways of doing a 5-cell 17 sum. That can't be a 4. If this is a 4, those digits would need to sum to 26 minus 4, which would be 22, and that's only part of a 17 cage. That can't be a 4. And that means this can't be a 5 because these 2 digits have to sum to 9. If this was a 5, this would be a... If this was a 5, this would be a 5-cell 17 sum and need 1, 2, and 3, and it can't have it. This is not a 5. Okay, can I do anything with this? I don't know. If this is a 3, oh, that's nice. If this was a 3, it would be counting those digits there. It would make this a 4 by Sudoku and be counting those digits there. So these digits would be 11 plus 17. And 11 plus 17 is 28. 45 minus 28 is 17. And those digits would need to sum to 17, which would mean that would need to be minus 5, which doesn't work. This cannot be a 3. That's a 2, which means this is a 9. Try to select everything. My selection, no, I'm just clicking the mouse button and scrolling down and it keeps missing. Anyway, if this is a 5 now, if this is a 5, it would be that plus those digits. 5 and 9 is, I don't know what's going on. I think it's the Bluetooth on my mouse, but there's not much I could do about that on this machine. 5 and 9. 5 and 9 would be 14, and those would need to sum to 26 minus 14, which is 12. That seems okay. Is that right? 5 and 9 is 14. 26 minus 14. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Those would be 12. Is it this? $13 If it must have a 1 in it, because 2, 3, 4, 5 is 14. So it must have a 1 in it. If I don't put a 2, well, and I can't do 4, 5 anyway. If I don't put a 2 in this, it's 1, 3, 4, 6 as a minimum, which is 14, which is too high. So there must be a 2 in it. And then I need 2 digits, that sums to 3. I need 2 digits that sum to 10 that don't include 1, 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 7 or 1, 2, 4, 6. I don't see how to use that. Oh, it's this. That has to be a 3. No, it can't be a can't be a 3. If this is a 3, those would need to sum to 16. And the only way to do 16 in 2 cells is 9, 7. And I don't have a 9 available. That's a 4, meaning this is a 5. And those are now done. These digits, what is going on with the selection? It keeps getting worse. Those digits now do sum to 12. So these digits sum to 5. They're from 1, 2, 3, 4. And those digits have to go over here. This can't be 2, 3. If this was 2, 3, then I'd be putting 2, 3 in those cells because I couldn't repeat it in the cage. So this would be 4, 2, 3, which would sum to 9, and that would need to be a 10. Or basically in those 4 cells, I'd have 4, 2, and 3 summing to 9, and the 4th digit would need to be a 10. This can't be 2, 3. That's 1, 4, which means this isn't a 4. These, hang on, a 17 cage with a 4 in it. There must be a 2, 3 in here now because every 17 cage needs 1, 2, and 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, which sums to 10, and then I need a 7. So these digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 6, and 8. These are 1, 6, and 8. The 4 says there's no 4 here. And that can't be a 5 because a 5 cell 17 sum needs a 1 in it. This is the 3, this is the 4, this is the 5. There's no 3 here. This is a 5 cell 17 sum. So it's 1, 2, 3, with a 5 in it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5, which is 11. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. These are 1, 2, 3, and 6. There's no 1 or 6 here. This is the 8. There's no 8 in those. There's no 2 there. So 2 is in one of those two. So is it this? Those have to sum to 13 without a 2 or a 4. Not sure. These have to sum to 14. 9, 5, or 8, 6. Ah, 4 is not in there and 4 is not in there. So this cage contains 1, 2, and 4, summing to 7. So this is 1, 2, 4, 6. There's no 3 in here. This is 1, 2, 4, 6. Why did I have no 4 in here? No, undo this, undo this, undo this. Sorry, this is 1, 2, yeah, this is 1, 2, 4, 6. And there's no 3 in here. Right, this is the makeup. Oh, but and the reason the 4 can't be in here, there is a 3 up here, and the reason the 4 is in here, that makes this a 4. Because there must be a 4 in here, because this is a 1, 2, 4, 6 cage. Because I can't put a 4 in here. There must be a 4 in the cage. It can't be in those, because this has to be 1, 2, 3, 6 to make that 17 sum work. But 4 is in here, and 4 is here. So this is now the 4. What is these now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Well, it doesn't resolve that. The 4 looks across, making that the 1 and that the 4. Which puts 4 in one of those two. Three is in one of those two. So 3 is in one of those two. These are the digits that sum to 28. So those have to sum to 17, but those have a maximum sum of 11. So this has to be 6, 7, or 8 because it can't be 9. Now, if this is a 6, but these sum to 17. So if this is a 6, those do sum to 11, and that's 1. If this is 7, those sum to 10, and this is 2. And if this is 8, these sum to 9, and that's a 3. If this is an 8, how would I make those sum to 9? I couldn't use 1, 8. I couldn't use 2, 7. This would be a 3, so I couldn't use 3, 6, and I couldn't use 4, 5. This can't be an 8. So this can't be a 3. Are the others restricted? If this is a 7, these sum to 10. I couldn't use 1, 9. I couldn't use 2, 8. I couldn't use 3, 7. I couldn't use 4, 6. This isn't a 7. This is a 6. And these have to sum to 11. Not 9, 2. Could be 8, 3. Can't be 7, 4. Can't be 5, 6. This is 3, 8, summing to 11, and that's a 1. And these digits are 5, 7, no, 1, 5, 7. 1, 5, 7 is 13 plus 4 is 17. That's worked. Okay, so what clues are done? This 17 is done. This 17 is done. This 19 is done because 4, 8, 1, and 6 gets me there. The 2, 9 is done. The 5, 2, 3, 7, 9, it gets me there. None of the others are done yet. Okay. That one in this cage, oh, that one takes 1 out of there. So 1 is in one of those two, and 1 in this cage is in that cell or that cell. Which is lining up with this maybe. If that's a 1, 1 is up there and 1 is in one of those two. If that's a 1, I can't put 1 in this cage. If that's a 1, I can't put 1 in any of those, can't put 1 there, and I can't put 1 there. That can't be the 1. That's the 1. Which means there's no 1 over here. One is not here. 1 is in one of these two. Which means 1 is in one of these two. 6 makes that 1 and that 6. 2 and 2 means 2 is in one of those two. That is a 5, 6, 7 triple. So this can't be a 6. These need to sum to 14. 9, 5, or 8, 6. Still doesn't seem restricted. Now, there's got to be overlap in this row. And the overlap needs to... The row sums to 45. And the overlap... or the two clues sum to 61. So the overlap sums to 16. The overlap sums to 16. So, for example, if this was a 7, this would be a 6. So we'd have 7 covering all of those and a 6 covering all of those. This would be a 5, and those would need to sum to 11. They'd be... which doesn't work. If this is a 7, 5, 6. 7 covers all of those. This would be a 6 because 7, 5, 6. 6 would cover all of those. This would be a 5, but the overlap is those digits in purple. I'm going to get rid of the green now, but the overlap is the purple digits. That's if this is a 7. And those digits would need to sum to 11. But this would be a 5, so those would need to be 1, 2, 3, breaking that cell. This is a 6. This is a 5. This is a 7, meaning this is a 5. And now, well, let's get rid of the colouring and see what I need to do. If this is a 6, those digits sum to 37. 45 minus 37 means those digits sum to 8. So this has to be 5. Those digits need to sum to 3. This is a 1, 2 pair. So there's no 3 there. That's the 3. And this is a 1, 2 pair. That 3 says that's not the 3. That's the 3. That's a 1, 2, 6. There's no 6 down here because of this 6. 6 is in one of those two. That makes sense. 4 is in one of those two. That makes sense. But I know what this digit is now. 1, 2, 5, and 7. Well, that is 8 plus 7. 8 plus 7 is 15. So that's the 9 to get me to 24. And this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. So 3, 4, and 8 is 15, 22, 28, 37. Yes. So these clues are now done. There's no 3 there. I can't put an 8 into a 17 cage, or I'd need, those digits would need to sum to 9, but the minimum 4 digits can sum to is 10. So that's not an 8. 3, 8 actually makes that 4, so that's 3, that's 8. 3 looks up saying that's not 3. That's a 2, 7 pair, so that's a 3, which puts 3 in one of those two by Sudoku. Ah, there's an 8 here now. So how do I do this 14? I could do 9, 5. I can't do 8, 6 and 7, 7 is blatantly wrong. And the 5 makes this the 9 and this the 5. So this is a triple in the column. 1, 2, 6, 7. Well, there's no 6 there, so that's the 6. Anything more I can do here? Well, this is a 1, 2, 4, so that's not the 2. That's the 2, that's the 1. This is the 5 that's not in the box. This is now a triple now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7, 8, and 9. The 3 makes that the 8 and that the 3, taking 8 out of there. This is a triple. 2, 5, and 6. Okay. This 17 clue is done, and I've done all the X sums. This cage has no total. This cage is done. This cage is done. This cage is not done. So I need to put a 2 in this cage. And so 1, 2, 3 is 6. I need 2 digits summing to 11, which has to either be 4, 7, which would be 4 here with the 7 in here, or 5, 6. And I can't put 5 in either of them. So this is a 4 here and a 2, 7 here. Looking up saying that's not the 2. So now there's a 2 in one of those two, because 2 can't be in those or in those. 4 is looking across saying that's not the 4. That's a 1, 2, 6. That's a 4. That's a 1, 2 pair. Nope. Where's 9 in this column? 9 is, yeah, 9 and 9 puts 9 down here, but I can't put 9 in the box. That's a 9, which by Sudoku now makes that the 9, which makes that the 3, which says that's not the 3, that's the 3. This is not a 9 anymore. This is a 7, 8 pair, which I don't see how to do, but there must be a 6 in one of those two. But if this is a 7, 8 pair, the other digits, the digits not placed in this row are 1, 2, and 7. Well, that's not a 1. Hang on, like, no. 1, 2, and 6. And this can't be a 1 or a 2. So this is a 6, and this is a 1, 2 pair. So if these are 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are 6, 7, and 8. And there's no 6 in those. This is a 6. This is a 7, 8 pair. This digit, however, must be an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an 8, making that the 7, that the 8. The 7 looks across, making that the 2 and that the 7. The 2 takes 2 out of those. So this is 1, 6, and 2. The 1 makes this the 2 and this the 1. The 6 takes 6 out of both of those. So this is the 6. This, well, the 4 looks up saying that's not the 4, so that's the 4. This is a triple in this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. The 7 looks up, taking 7 out of both of those, so that's the 7, meaning this can't be a 7 because of the cage. The 5 looks across, making this the 8, this the 5. The 7 makes that the 9 and that the 7. This row is missing 1 and 3. The 3 is looking at making that the 1 and that the 3. This box is now missing 1, 2, 3, 8 and 9. And the 8 is looking at making that the 9 and that the 8. Need to put a 4 in one of those two because there's no 4 in the column and that 4 says it's not there. So that's the 4. And now there's a 1, 2 missing in this column, but I can't put a 1 there. That's the 2. That's the 1. That's the 2. Looking at making that the 7, that the 2, that the 7. These are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 9. But the 2 is looking across, making that the 5, that the 2. The 5 looks back, making that the 9, that the 5. The 9 looks across, making that the 8. Which looks down, making that the 7, that the 8. The 7 looks up, making that the 9. These are the final 2 digits in the puzzle, which are 6 and 7. And I'll use that 7 to make this the 6, that the 7. And that is how you solve Span by dumediat. Yeah, I struggled with this one. On my first solve, I did not have anything near that clean a solve. I was doing things like picking options and putting them all in and trying to whittle down and like trying like different things. And it was like, this is not working for me. That was much cleaner because I've got a better idea of how the grid lays out. Now, I'm trying to present the puzzle. If I'd just been trying to solve recreationally, I would have gone with my first solve. Did I figure it out? Yes, but I'm trying to present a clean solve to you all. And therefore I wanted to do a better job because that's what it's about. Most of the time I'm going to try, I mean, on the pack puzzles, I will do whatever it takes to get you a clean solve if I can. Normally, if I can. It varies. It really varies. If I'm happy with it, if it's an okay video, I'll bring it to you. But it wasn't even that. It was, I watched it back and it was like, no, I can't do this to people because I couldn't even follow what I was doing because this is a 1, then this is a this, then this is a this, and then this would be this. And it was just a mess. And I don't want to present a mess. And I felt this went much better. And I get a better idea now of what dumediat was trying to do, which is important as well. Really, really good. Often if you come away from a puzzle and it's like, oh, I don't know what was going on there. Go away for a day, come back and try again. Maybe you'll find something that you were missing. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you're enjoying the pack. It should only be a couple more to come because this is probably going to be in the higher difficulties. And as always, good luck with your solving.